Hello everybody, it's Cobblers Vlogs, and today it is the second upload of the double upload Friday. At 2 PM, 2 hours ago, I uploaded a interview with the Cobblers youth team coach manager John Brady. So if you haven't checked that out, go and watch it after this. I'll put a link down in the description. But yeah, if you didn't know, last night I was on BBC Radio Northampton doing the Cobblers show as a guest fan, and afterwards I managed to David Buchanan, the Cobblers left back club captain, gave up his time to do an interview with me just about his life at the club, what it's like being a footballer, sacrifices you have to make, and just things like that really. So yeah, this is going to be that interview. Go and watch it, enjoy it, leave a like on it if you enjoy it, and yeah, here's the interview. So here with David Buchanan, Cobblers left back. Most of you wouldn't probably recognise him. Just first of all, what's it like being a professional footballer?
Oh, it's the best job in the world. You know, it's all I've grown up ever wanting to be. From the day I remember kicking a football, you know, you're playing in the playground with your mates, and then obviously you progress to school teams and club teams and then professional teams. And, you know, it's only a dream that you think it can become your job. And I've been lucky enough to be in the game since I've been 16 at professional clubs, coming through the youth teams, and then obviously playing over 500 games now in my professional career.
What sort of sacrifices have you had to make during your career?
Oh, there's massive sacrifices, you know. Obviously, when from a younger age, when your friends are starting to find, you know, things what teenagers do, going to parks and drinking beer and, you know, trying out smoking, etc., etc. You know, you've had to stay away from all that, which, you know, sometimes can be hard. You know what it's like with peer pressure and stuff. And then obviously you're getting a little bit older then, and it comes to when your mates are going out, then night clubbing and stuff like that. You've not saying you can't go along, but the times I had to go along, and you know you're there, you're drinking soft drinks because you want to be out and you want to be having fun yourselves. But you realise that these are sacrifices that you've got to make if you want to stay in the game for a long time. And other sacrifices of in my career, you know, there's been times where I've been at clubs. I remember when I was played in Scotland for a year. After I played in Scotland, I left Hamilton at the time, and I came back to England, and I found myself without a club, and I had to go and trial at a few places. And you know, the harsh reality was I weren't getting paid, and my missus had to take the kids back to Northern Ireland, to Belfast, you know, and live over there. And I ended up living with my nan. I went on trial at Tranmere, got myself a contract there, and luckily I got Player of the Season that year. I ended up getting a good move to Preston, and the rest is history. But what I mean is the sacrifice of that was making my family move to a different country because it meant that I could get on with my work, and you know, that sometimes financially that's what we had to do.
In terms of Northampton, obviously a great one on Tuesday night. What's probably been the best and worst parts?
Oh, there's been loads of highlights and lows, you know, since I've been here, but highlights for me, obviously, we can say winning the league was a massive highlight. But within that, you know, games, Ricky Holmes' winner at Stevenage. You know, still now to this day, I mean, it's like I've scored the best goal ever. But when I watch them celebrations back, it's a bit cringy if I'm being honest. But you can just see the adrenaline and the emotion that's going through every player. We were 2-0 down at the time, and to come back and win 3-2, I think that was the day we realised that we were going to go on to win the league. So that was a massive high. For myself personally, I think captaining the side against Man United, being a Manchester United fan, Wayne Rooney being an hero of mine, you know, what can I say about the guy? He's just everything that as a footballer you want to be. Top goal scorer for Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, you know, top goal scorer for his country. And to be able to lead the team out that night against Manchester United, and to get to swap shirts and captain's armbands with Wayne Rooney is something that I'll never forget. I've got it all framed at home, and it's a memory I can show my kids, which they've seen, and hopefully my grandkids if we're going to have them. But there's been a lot of lows throughout that. Obviously, when I first joined, you know, loads of what happened to the club. I was new to it all when we weren't getting paid and stuff, but it wasn't me, it was, I remember seeing fans outside the ground, you know, they're in tears of thinking they might not have a football club, and you have to go in the offices every day, and you see how hard these girls are working for the team, and they're not getting paid the wages. So they're massive low points. Obviously getting relegated relegated and not, you know, that on your CV is something that you don't want to have. And it's always a low point when you're not in the team. You're not selected. You're not wanted by a manager, and you know someone deems you not good enough, so to speak.
Yeah.
But luckily, I've always managed to stay focused and keep myself, you know, grounded, and managed to get myself back on track.
Obviously, you've had quite a few managers working with you here. What have been the main differences between each of them?
A lot of differences. I think with Chris and Alan, I worked with them before when I was at Bury. Although it was the other way around, a lot of people don't realise that Alan was the manager and Chris was the assistant at the time. Which when I've worked with it the other way around, was Chris was the manager. You know, it just seems to fit unbelievably well. And you know, all credit to them. You see what they're doing at the minute. It looks like, well, fingers crossed they do, but it looks like this season they're going to push really close to go to the Premier League. You know, but they was a good team. I always said, I've said this before, for me they were like 2 number ones. Chris was the boss, but you know, Alan made a lot of decision and did a lot of work with the players, and I think their relationship, they really respected each other. The other ones weren't really at the club for so long. I can't say I didn't really get on with any manager. I think the worst relationship I had was obviously with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, but I never personally disliked him or anything like that. It's just that, you know, he didn't rate me as a player, and one thing I didn't like about it, I think he said some things about me which, you know, were a bit untoward in the press. I didn't like, because I didn't feel I deserved that after he'd just come into the club, and I thought, you know, everything I'd give up to that point. But I respect all managers. You know, it's opinions. If someone thinks you don't fit their style of play, or you're not good enough for them, you know, you can't take it personally. That's part and parcel of being a footballer. But every other manager, you know, I've tried to stay in contact with him one way or another. I had a great relationship with Dean Austin. You know,
so the fans as well.
He was assistant manager, obviously, when Jimmy was here, and you know, he's seen the struggles that I was going through personally with that, and you know, he helped pick me up, and he was honest with me, and you know, we had a good working relationship. And so far with Keith, it's been different class. He's come in, he's brought a discipline and a bit of edge to the group, and when you're winning football matches, you know, everyone buys into what you're trying to do. You know, the lads have got massive respect for him. You know, he's a real calm person, calm manager to be around, and you know, long may it continue.
And in terms of when you finish your career, you're looking to sort of go into journalism. How did that sort of come about, and why did that appeal to you? Yeah,
I mean, because I've been in the game so long, you know, I just don't want to leave the game. It's been my whole life, so I'd like to go through the coaching route first. I'd like to be a coach or a manager before I went into journalism. But I always want the journalism side to be part of my life. You know, I did a degree in it because I wanted to be educated, because I think it's important as a footballer. It's only a short career. No disrespect to our level, we're not earning hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, a year, never mind a week. You know, we've got families to provide for, so I think it's important that young footballers do get educated. And I went and got a degree in sports journalism, you know, and I've loved it. It's difficult. It's a difficult industry to get into, as you know, because a lot of the big names who are in the game, you know, are employed by the likes of the TV and the radio. But you know, I'm working at the BBC at the minute. You know, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that they're giving me, and I just want to see where it can take me.
Cool. Finally, for someone my age wanting to maybe become a professional footballer and break into an academy or first team, what sort of advice would you give to them?
I think wherever you're playing at is, you know, you've just got to keep working hard at your team, and you know, believe that you are going to make it. And as you said, I've just spoke about them sacrifices there. You know, you've got to believe that if you sacrifice and work hard enough, then your opportunity will come. And when your opportunity comes, there's only one person that can take it. It's up to you to take it. So whether you're playing for a club team or whether you're only playing for your school team at the minute, you know, work hard, do well. You never know who's watching. And when them doors open, you know, you've got to make sure you're ready to step in.
Cool. And score prediction for Saturday?
I think it'll be 1-0 Matt Crooks.
Cool, thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. So yeah, massive thank you to David Buchanan for giving up his time and doing that. Again, a good 10-minute interview there. So yeah, we really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the show. If you haven't seen the Cobblers show or heard the Cobblers show yet, I'll leave a link to it down in the description if you haven't listened to it already. A great show it was last night. Thank you to Mark Webber for having me on the host. Thanks to Buchanan and John Brady as well for giving up their time to do that interview with me. Hopefully Cobblers can get a win against Oldham on Saturday with meeting Reece Parsons. So yeah, thanks to Books again for giving up his time and doing that. It means a lot to me, and hopefully we can get some more players on the channel in the future. But yeah, if you enjoyed the interview, give it a like, subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.